Welcome. My name is Brandon. Please join me on this tour of the best treasure, gem, brick beauty of southeastern Iowa, the River City Mall in the lovely town of Keokuk. I said in an earlier video that Valley West in West Des Moines, Iowa was my favorite mall. It is my favorite based on personal taste, but I will argue that River City Mall is the fan favorite of Iowa malls. People who have visited gush about their experience. Others look at their photographs and say, I need to visit that mall. In fact, I am playing waltz music because I feel like dancing. I discovered photographs of River City Mall at the end of 2022, and I myself said, I have to go there. Work got in the way of a long Iowa trip the following year, but I finally had the chance to make the trip down to Keokuk in the summer of 2024. I spent 2 nights in a hotel in Coralville in order to check out malls in southeastern Iowa. It was worth the money and effort to get down here. At the time I discovered this mall, it was relatively unknown, other than the photographs and one shaky cam video from 2012. While that video can be difficult to watch, I am glad someone filmed this relatively unknown mall, as the video shows the mall with more stores and things in the hallway, benches, children's rides, and a candy cart. I'll share a link in this video's description. Since 2022, more people have discovered River City Mall, so the center has more photographs and videos. Does this mean I am skipping out on mall history? Far from it. I am excited to share what I have learned about River City Mall, as well as my own emotions and personal anecdotes. According to the Keokuk, Iowa Historians Facebook page, the story of the site goes back to 1856 with the opening of the Huiskamp Shoe Factory. The factory shuttered in 1931. It was used as a warehouse for the next few decades until a fire broke out in April 1964. According to the Daily Gate City newspaper, being a windy night, the fire spread, damaging nearby businesses and homes. A total of 21 buildings were destroyed. The entire block was razed by 1965. Montgomery Ward opened at the western end of the block in 1967. A mall was then built, attached to the department store, which was opened by developer General Growth Properties as Keokuk Plaza Mall in 1969. According to the Dixon Evening Telegraph, they built the mall downtown to prevent one from being built outside the city limits. Was that fire arson or an accident? One could argue it seems convenient that the fire leveled enough property so a mall could be built in town. However, the fire did damage several businesses and also destroyed homes across the street. I am not cutting out any of this hallway footage like I normally do. While watching my footage, I was mesmerized by all this brick. Oh yeah, I should explain the mall's original name. Keokuk is a portmanteau of Keokuk and the Mississippi River, on which the town resides. Around the time of the mall's opening, a Holiday Inn was built across the street. Was this a coincidence, or were town leaders hoping people would drive out from the country, go shopping at the mall, and spend the night before heading home? Keokuk Mall once had 3 anchors: Woolworth in the middle, where the empty Gordman's is, JCPenney at the dead end of the mall where we are right now, and Montgomery Ward at the more lively end of the mall. While the mall opened in 1969, JCPenney did not open until 1970. In the old department store ahead, the ceiling has partially caved in, allowing birds to enter the old tenant. Other early tenants included Joanne Fabric, Kurland's Hallmark, Merle Norman, Osco Drug, and Regis Salon. On January 8, 1971, a single-screen Plaza Cinema opened in the mall. It opened with a 1:30 matinee screening of the 1970 film Dirty Dingus McGee, starring Frank Sinatra. During the same decade, General Growth Properties sold the mall to Aetna Life Insurance Company. In the 1980s, Aetna sold the Keokuk Mall to Rouse Corporation, which had been managing the mall since the beginning of the decade. Aetna also sold these Iowa malls to Rouse: College Square, Marshalltown, Muscatine, North Grand, and Westland. I have videos about College Square, North Grand, and the late Marshalltown. I have filmed and plan to release videos on Muscatine and Westland soon. Around the time Rouse bought the mall, Montgomery Ward closed. The owners expanded the mall's hallway into a section of the old department store. The stairs and ramp outside the cinema show where the hallway was extended. Spurgeon's moved into the remaining department store space in 1983. At the end of the 1980s, Carasota's Theaters purchased the cinema and twinned it. In 1992, Spurgeon's closed. Dollar General moved in and still calls the space home to this day. However, they have since closed their internal mall entrances. In 1993, Woolworths closed when the company shuttered over 400 stores during a restructure. Stage moved into its space. In the middle of the 1990s, the owners sold the mall to 5 Keokuk investors. They intended to change the mall into a mixed-use center. They renamed the place to River City Mall. In 2001, Stage filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. Now, this is where retail history becomes confusing. I have read that Stage closed the River City location. However, Stage was able to get out of bankruptcy by selling off Fashion Bar, Milliken's, Tri-North, and Almonds. Stage then bought Peebles in 2003 and moved back into the old space in River City with a Peebles branded store. Stage bought Goodies in 2009. They rebranded the Peebles store to Goodies. Then, Stage bought Gordman's in 2017. They rebranded the Goodies store to Gordman's in 2019. All this came to an end in May 2020 when Stage filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy again. Now, here is something you don't see anymore: a Christopher & Banks with the old Browns branding. The company rebranded Browns to Christopher & Banks in the year 2000? Wow. I do not have a date for when JCPenney closed, but based on articles and Google Maps, it appears to have closed in the 2000s. The old department store later became Helligmeyer's Furniture. At the end of 2010, the independent Eisentraut Theaters chain took over the cinema. In 2011, Bayview Loan Servicing Limited Liability Corporation out of Florida foreclosed on a $980,000 loan made to River City Mall Corporation and Shannon Zetterlund. According to LinkedIn, Shannon was once the president of River City Mall. If you visit the mall's website, a 2006 time capsule, you'll see Shannon's face on the front page. As of the release of this video in May 2025, the website still looks like this. In 2013, the mall went up for sale at $375,000. With no buyers, it went to auction. Thomas Marks of Quincy, Illinois, purchased the mall that July in an online auction for $300,000. The cinema closed forever in March 2020 due to the pandemic. Are these the best mall restrooms in the entire state of Iowa? I wouldn't know. They looked kind of sketchy and were probably locked. With so many closures at the mall, the center has become less of a place to spend an afternoon. Mall walking is perfectly acceptable, but loitering is not. The fact all the benches are locked away makes the mall unwelcoming to people who are simply looking to hang out here. In fact, I did not film the small Veterans Memorial near the Dollar General, as a person working at one of the tenants nearby poked her head out to see what I was doing. Luckily, I had my camera tucked in my pocket. "Nothing to see here, ma'am. I'm just a mall walker." Despite the shopping center's appearance in 2024, River City Mall may have a good future. Commercial Contracting Services contacted owner Thomas Marks to purchase the mall for $600,000. The deal was contingent on whether the Keokuk City Council would rezone the east side of the property so the new owners can move their business into the bird sanctuary. I mean the old JCPenney tenant. They would like to use the space for sporting activities such as pickleball. While the old JCPenney is still empty, at the end of 2024, Black Dragon's Fast Pitch started renovating the tenant on the right for batting cages. In 2025, River City Mall's Facebook page is still active with mentions of craft fairs at the mall. I am glad to see the community find ways to use the shopping center. Whenever a mall is demalled or closed, it becomes one less place for a community to gather. Now that I think about it, I guess you can hang out in this mall after all, assuming you have crafts to sell. Well, I have no plans to make another video of River City in its current state. If I hear that the mall turns around, I would love to come back to share a success story. Thank you for joining me on this tour of River City Mall in Keokuk, Iowa. I hope you have a great day. Take care.